Hello and welcome to the video on Chapter 4, Query and or with the database library. So the one that we just was working on, go ahead and open that just to follow along. It was the database called library. If you recall, it had 3 tables, book, loan, and member, and then we created 3 queries. This one, if we were to check this one, it had all 11 records and the 3 columns, and then the all queries, all fields, all of them, but in alphabetic order. So if I go to design view, you'll see that I have it sort in ascending. If I was in this one, I don't think we had anything specific, but we didn't have the individual column headings. We just did the asterisk, so book dot asterisk. And then we'll open this one, and this one has just call number and author, also in alphabetic order. And if you see that we have just call number and author in ascending order. So I'm going to close out of these, and I'm going to go back to the very first one. I'll go to the one that was in alphabetic order. So it's got all 3 columns, headings, column number, title, and author, and there are 11 records. So this is what we're going to work with. We're going to create a new one, but what we want to pull out is just titles that have SQL in the title. And if you're just looking at the titles right now, I see 1, 2, and SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Structured Query Language, and it's pronounced SQL, and it is universal programming language used to manage relational databases. So you'll hear that often. So what we want to do is find a title that has SQL in it, and I can see that there's 2 of them already. And then the other thing, you'll know that the author for those 2 is the same person, Joe Selko, but he also has another title, but it doesn't have SQL in it. So I'm going to close out of here. I'm going to choose Query Design. I want to use the table book. And I want all of the, actually I just want the title and author. But let's say I put in call number, title, and author. And then I realize, ooh, I really don't need call number. So if I hover on the arrow above the column and click, I can just press delete on the keyboard. So now I have just title and author. And I'm not going to sort it. I'll keep it in the order that it fell. So there's 11 of them, and you have the 11 titles and the 11 authors. Now I'm going to tell it to look for specific just SQL in the name of the title. So I'll go back to design view, and under title I'm going to go to criteria. I'm going to type the word like, and then I'm going to type an asterisk, and then meaning a wildcard, anything before it. And as long as it has SQL, and then another asterisk, meaning anything after it. So as long as SQL is in the title somewhere, at some point, the beginning, the end, the middle. Now I'll click Run. I started off with 11, and now how many do I have? Just 2. So see where SQL fell, it's not in the beginning, it's not the end. It could be anywhere, or it could have been in the beginning. And then who's the author for those 2? It was the same person. So, but it just pulled out the titles with SQL in it. So I'll go back. So what happens if I typed in here like, and I wanted Joe Selko's name, I could put asterisk, because it could be any first name, but I want Selko, and I don't have to have an asterisk after it, because the asterisk is just in front of the first name, and this is the last name. So I'll go ahead and click Run, and this, I have 3, because I wanted the 2 that had the title SQL, but I also wanted all of Joe Selko's titles, so 3 came up. So you have control over how you want to set this up. So let's save this. So I'm going to, do you want to save it? Yes. And I'm going to call this book 1, and then with SQL and Joe Selko. So there we go. Now I'm going to create another one, Query Design. Again, I want to use the table book. And I'm going to use the same title and author. So let's go back. So I'm going to open up book just for a second. So we have this one going. I want to open up the book table. So let's say we want to look for anything, any title that has medieval in the title. Anyone that has medieval. So I'm just going to go back here. I just had to look at it to see what it had. So criteria for title, like, and it could have, there's a wild card, anything before it and anything after it, but I'm looking for the word medieval, and then anything asterisk after it. So the wild card before and after. So I'll go ahead and remember we started with 11, and you can click Query Design and then Run. And there are 5, and it doesn't matter where medieval falls in the title, happens to be pretty much 3 of them in the beginning and 2 in the middle. So let's say you wanted to take it a step further. You want anything that is medieval, but just with the author Eileen Power. So go back to Design View, and then in the or, I'm going to type like, type asterisk for a first name, and then Power, and then Run. So my mistake, because when I click Run, it was showing all 5 of them. And I just want to see Eileen Power, so I need to have it on the same line as like medieval. So like asterisk Power. And now I have just the one. So you have control over what you want to see in your query. So I'll go back, and if I got rid of the exact name Power and then Run, I should get the 5. So you have control over how you would pull out the information, the data that you need based on all the information that fell. So I could go back in here and go back to sort by author last name, and it's showing all of the books that are like medieval in the title, and there they are. Thank you.